Hey everybody, welcome to another Team Clueless tournament report. Tomorrow is the 40k doubles tournament and we're heading down there. There are two teams of us going, so myself and Paul, we are taking my Imperial Guard, which you can see on the table in front of us, and Paul is bringing his Eldar. The video will continue shortly, no doubt with some footage from inside the car where everyone else will discuss their lists, but I'll go through mine shortly. Also coming along are Nick and Mark, who are bringing Orks and Dark Eldar. So it's a 2,000 point tournament, each player bringing 1,000 points, and they're playing strict maelstrom missions from the book, so using the exact rules which we've been practicing a few games for because we don't use those rules very often. Anything else happening? It's a 3-round tournament. There are pretty good prizes put up by KR Multicase, which is quite nice, and it's just good to go down to the shop because it's a really friendly place and it's good to go down and see people we haven't seen for a little while. So, my 1,000 point army, I've just finished painting it now, and I shall go through what I'm taking. So, 1,000 points of Imperial Guard. First off, I am bringing Pask there, guy sitting in the top. He is riding in a Lemon Rust Punisher with multi-melter sponsons and a las cannon on the front. Because you have to take 2 tanks with him, the second one is a Lemon Rust. I'm gonna say it's an Exterminator, I think it is. It's the one with the autocannons on it, twin-linked autocannons. It's got a las cannon on the front, and then I've got a slight dilemma, which I haven't really decided on yet. We'll no doubt chat about it in the car and decide then. But do I want to take the sponsons? At the minute I've got the multi-melter sponsons on there, but they are cunningly magnetised, so I can take them off if need be. So the choices are I could leave those off and stick some camo on Pass because he's such an important part of the list, and also give him a dozer blade. So basically sacrifice a little bit of firepower from the second tank to add more survivability to the main tank who's likely going to be our warlord. But as I say, we'll discuss that shortly, I imagine, on the video. As troop choice, I'm taking 2 veteran squads. I'd quite like to take a blob because I think it works really well in Astra Militarum. Have I been calling them Imperial Guard? Probably. Astra Militarum. But I haven't been able to paint a blob. It was enough struggle just to paint these 20 guys. So I'm taking 2 squads of veterans. Each one has a heavy flamer and 2 melter guns in. They're just riding around in bog standard chimeras with heavy bolter multi-laser. Rounding out the 1,000 points, we have the heavy support section. We have 2 Wyverns. 1 and 2, that one's a homemade one. Can you spot the difference? Yes, is the answer. They are in separate units, each has a heavy bolter on the front. And lastly, we have a bit of a wild card we're taking. We're taking the Death Strike missile with a heavy flamer on it. The tournament has ruled that you can't fire it in your first turn of the first turn of the complete game turn. So even if you go second, you can't fire it in your first turn. But that's not a huge biggie. It's still a reasonably threatening unit. It's mainly in there for psychological reasons and to kind of like force our opponent to spread out so we can then deal with him a bit more piecemeal with our concentrated firepower. Hopefully it'll do reasonably well. You can see over there, there's some Orks Nick's borrowing from myself. He's taken a few mega knobs. But yes, let's go on to the rest of the people's list. Hi there, so here we are on the road to Colchester. Is Colchester we're going, isn't it, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, as long as Nick doesn't miss the turning. We're on the lovely A12. Look at that memory, man. So, there is myself. Oh, did we? Myself, Nick, who is kindly driving, Mark in the back there, and Paul hiding over there. So, as I said earlier in the video, we are going to the doubles tournament. So let's see what armies we're bringing. I've gone through my army, so Paul, if you can go through the Eldar half of our combined force.
So, it's the same video, it's the same army as we used in the practice video. So I have a Farseer, 5 Fire Dragons in a Wave Serpent, 10 Storm Guardians with 2 Fusion Guns in a Wave Serpent, and 10 Guardian Defenders with a Shuriken Cannon in a Wave Serpent. And the Wave Serpents have all got scatter lasers, Shuriken Cannons and hollow fields.
Well, obviously.
And there's a Night Spinner as well with a Shuriken Cannon and a hollow field.
That is it, so our army is mainly tanks and more tanks.
I'm putting down 4 tanks, I think you've got 5 tanks?
1, 2, 3, 4, I've got 7 tanks.
7 tanks? That's Imperial Guard, I suppose.
But we've also got nearly 50 infantry as well, so...
But they're all hidden.
Yeah.
So we're not putting a single thing down on a base.
Well, we want to use those fairly base things, won't we? Who knows what size they're supposed to use nowadays.
Yeah.
So that's our combined force. What's our game plan generally?
Well, we'll be using the armour to hopefully render some portion of their army irrelevant, and then focusing fire on the portion of the army that can hurt the armour. Your slow tracked vehicles will be holding down the forts, whilst my faster skimmers will be moving forward and taking objectives and so on.
That's it. Sounds good. Let's hope it works. We do put out a fairly prestigious amount of firepower. Prodigious even was the word I was looking for. I think it's quite prestigious as well.
It is very prestigious to fire a wave serpent's wave shield. You should feel honoured.
At the smelly Monker. So, Mark and Nick, what are you bringing after you, Mark?
Sure, I've got, for HQ, I've got an Arkle.
He's playing Dark Eldar, folks.
The Armour of Misery, which gives a 4+ save, 6 up, invulnerable, and everything. 12 inches -2 leadership. He's also got a blaster. And
is that just a flat -2, or is it -2 to any certain checks?
no, it's just a flat -2 leadership.
Very nice.
He's got a blaster and an agonizer. He has Court of the Arkle, which just consists of a reducer, which is a strength 4 AP3 template, and a venom with dual cannons.
So that just gives you the option of kind of like deep striking in, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I also forgot the Arkles. Still got the Webray portal. For elite, I have 5 Cavalry Troop with 4 blasters. They're in a raider with Dark Lance and Change Slayer, so they can still take shock troops. For troop choices, I've got 2 squads of 5 Cavalry Warriors, each in a venom with dual cannons. For fast attack, I have 2 mid squads of Scourges, one with Heat Lances, one with Haywire Blasters, and a Razor Wing Jet Fighters with no upgrade. And that is the entirety of my list.
Seems good. And Nick, what are you bringing?
I'm bringing some Orks today.
Good choice.
I've got a big mech who is wearing a thinking cap, not something Orks usually do.
No, I need to think.
Yeah. He's got heavy armour, cyborg armour, kill swords, and a boss pole. He's inside a battle wagon which has got ram, riggers, and a big shooter, which has also got 19 shooter boys in. With just a box standard knob. No upgrade the knob.
No power claw, Nick.
No, well, that's the big mech. He's got kill sword.
Oh, I see.
And then we have a little mech. He's rocking around in another battle wagon, equipped the same way as the first one, with 19 shooter boys with a knob. This one is upgraded to have the power claw on that, so you've basically got still got power claw in each unit, and you got the little mech in one unit and the box standard knob in another to soak up the first challenge, so at least you can get some power claw attacks in.
Seems like a good plan.
We're also rocking around in 2 trucks. Both trucks have got 3 mega knobs in each, rocking with a boss pole. No other upgrades to the mega knobs. I think
that's your entire army.
That was the entire list.
It seems wrong, doesn't it, for an Ork army? It's got 4 vehicles and some boys.
Yeah, again, the same. Well, for ease of tournament, it's a nice, quick, easy list to move around. I'm going to play 4 tanks, and there's not hundreds of troops to move.
So what's your game plan between the pair of you? See if I can get you both in frame, kinda.
Cheat.
Cheat. I like it, Mark. I like it.
Cheat. I've got some loaded dice and some templates which are sort of fractionally too large.
Oh, I like. Nice. You had them specially made, or do you do them at home?
No, we borrowed them from you.
Oh, damn it. Shit, Paul, we're going to need some new templates.
You've got the everlasting tape measure, right?
And really, I'm just hoping to sort of cheat to win. If that doesn't work, I'll just rely on sort of bullying and intimidation.
Yeah, I like intimidation. That's my general tactic.
My final fallback is just to rely on poor personal hygiene to just put on my opponent. And really, I just think that between sort of that sort of triad.
I would generally put down any victories you've ever had over me down to your poor personal hygiene myself.
And I still consider that a victory. I'm not offended by that part, really. We're relying on sort of.
I'm afraid Nick has not joined the team. He appears to have showered.
Yeah, I'm going to get.
That's because I went swimming.
Get in there for a little bit, There's a sauna nearby. There's bound to be martial arts dojo. Walk in there, sort of rub yourself up, get some sweat.
Nice, Mark. Nice. This video is taking a weird turn.
It's not our normal sort of video.
No, we rely a lot on. We're quite a good all-round list. Our biggest strength is probably we're very mobile. We've got a lot of mobility.
Yeah, Ork trucks are fast. Everything in your army is super fast.
Yeah, we've got a lot of units. We're very the Orks main. We put 4 stuff down. I put down a reasonable chunk of change as well. We're pretty good in assault. We've got a lot of stuff that can. The Orks can assault well every unit.
Yeah, the mega knobs. There's few units in the game that will happily close combat mega knobs. Even if they can beat up the mega knobs, they'll take damage back, quite a lot of damage.
And actually, we've got a very good volume of fire. The Orks bring a lot of sort of volume of fire. Like, they've obviously got a good chunk of poison shooting, and I I'm very good at precision killing a tank.
Yeah, so you can't kill hundreds of tanks quickly, but if you want to kill a tank, that tank will die.
Yeah. I've got 3 units that are generally pretty pinpoint, good at killing unit tanks and stuff like that. So yeah, overall that's kind of the sort of the game plan really. You know, it's Maelstrom, so it's playing the missions, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And I think the Dark Eldar are particularly good at the Maelstrom. So.
Well, you say that, but also I rely quite heavily on the Orks because there's a lot of, especially because we'll be using the Ork cards quite often. So a lot of their stuff is like kill units of assault and that, and there's a lot more. They take away 6 objective cards and they put in a lot more kill stuff cards.
Yeah.
Which obviously is quite useful to have the Orks.
It's a good point to make that if you choose a warlord from one of the races that has their own deck of cards, you have to use that deck of cards because the codexes say you have to use those additional cards. It's not a may, and this tournament's very strictly, because they've never done a Maelstrom tournament before. Their first tournament, they're using the rules exactly as printed in the books, so they can see exactly how they work, and then if they think they need to house rule it after that, then they will do.
It's going to be interesting to see how it works. I mean, Maelstrom is can be a little bit hit and miss at times.
It can be. I think some of the missions are fine. The one I really dislike is the one where you get 6 mission cards to start with.
Yeah.
Because that one, if you draw 6 you can do and the opponent doesn't, you've won the game at that point.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, it's unlikely you'll get 6 you can do and the opponent will get none, but if that does happen, it really is no point in playing. The opponent will never come back into it no matter what they do.
I mean, I don't know if it's been covered, but obviously we're playing straight Maelstrom, so they're going to roll they've got, obviously we're playing 3 games a day, it's a 50% chance. They're rolling it 50% chance to get each mission, so divide the missions, pairs, everything.
Yeah, so we won't play the same one twice, but out of the rest, who knows what we'll play.
So it should be interesting. There's definitely some interest. I agree with you. I don't like the one where you start off with 6, 7 cards. But I do like some of the other ones. I think Contact Loss is quite an interesting one. The one we played most recently.
Yeah, I quite like the hidden one as well, and the one with 3 cards each turn seems the fairest. So.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think about the one that reverse scales starts at one climbs up?
Reverse scales, I think that one is probably the one that most likely will go as the game is going for who's winning.
Yeah.
So it'll scale up as the game goes on, but whoever's doing the best will continue doing the best. So that might be the least random, possibly.
Yeah, I would probably sort of suggest similar. So you would just got to hope we sort of draw decent cards, really.
Yep.
Minimise all the fucking cast of psychic power, kill an enemy flyer, destroy a building.
One good thing is, because the tournament is each player strictly has basically 1 detachment to bring, we won't be facing any knights unless a player wants to play 300 points down, which I suppose is a possibility, but it seems unlikely. And Lords of War are allowed, but in 1,000 points it's quite hard to get a decent Lord of War in. Could see a thing like a Baneblade or something like that, but
Baneblades are there.
You can take a Transcendent Catan.
But it's not a Forge World, is it, as well? That's the other thing.
Not Forge World. And if you take a Tranny Catan, you can't take a fully decked one because you just can't fit the troop choices and the HQ in as well.
Yeah, I mean, without pointing it, it's all about whether or not you can take that stupid 66 las cannons.
I think you can.
That can still be a problem.
Still, we'll just have to kill it in their deployment zone. It'll blow up and kill all of them.
Oh yeah, Jake, cheat to win, isn't it?
That's it. Okay, any other thoughts, guys?
I think so.
No.
It's a bit too early in the morning for
It is
to be honest.
It is quite early. Look at the time. We've been on the road for, well, nearly an hour now, and look, 7:47. I should still be in bed. Sunday morning, it's not right. Okay, so we'll hopefully, as long as the games don't run too long, do reports in between each match, and then a sum up at the end of the day, no doubt in a dark car journey home. No, sorry.
Hi there guys, welcome to our 40k tournament. We've come to the end of our first round, and as you can see there are lots and lots of tables around and a couple of people still playing, and that's all our tables. So end of game 1, how do we go? This was the table me and Mark were playing on. As you see, a few ruins around, quite a few trees and that, nice table. The armies we were playing against, we had a Space Wolf army over there, and we were playing against Necrons as well. So Mark, how do we do?
Yeah, it was a convincing win in the end. We managed to table them. We had first turn, which is a big advantage in Maelstrom. He's obviously got 2 Transcendent Catans, and I've got Venoms, which are really good against poison.
Yeah.
So, although he did have a special rule which meant the whole board was difficult terrain for first turn because of this guy, Oberon or something.
Yeah.
and then all danger training fails tests were failed on the 1 or 2. So we managed to immobilise 2 battle wagons despite the death roll of turn 1, which is a bit of a bad start. But it kind of made up for it because our Venoms managed to kill 1 of the Transcendence Khan, which gives us first blood. I don't know if we're saying was playing the tactical escalation or maelstrom missions, which means you draw cards equal to turn number, so we only had 1 on turn 1, etc. So we just concentrated on killing the stuff, which was kind of the fear of the game, really. We were able to push up quite quickly. The army is quite light on shooting, so he wasn't able to demech us, which meant the Meganobs were able to get charges on his both of his Necron units and wipe out the Necron forces, as well as the Orks managed to kill 1 of the other Catanian assaults. My Venoms and Scourges just went around plinking hull points off vehicles. I pretty much killed the 3 Space Force vehicles, and then I used my my flyer came on with the large blasters to kill both of the Grey Hunter squads. So it turned out to be sort of quite a big win in the end, really, for us, and got maximum points.
Yep.
So it was, what was it, 26 to 2 in total at the end?
26 to 2, but we went on to turn 7. So
yeah, that's a pretty good game.
Basically,
small opposing armies.
Yeah, basically their last 2 turns, they really just had the Necron flyer.
Okay, so we take a wander over to ours?
Yeah, we'll take a wander over to where Curly and Paul were playing. They were playing on this table over here, table 4. Obviously.
So, we were playing against a semi-similar list. It had 4 Lemuros battle tanks and a load of bikes and Razorbacks with Dark Angels in.
Yeah, he had the Dark Angel powered field generators.
So basically guarding the Lemuros.
And a librarian to give all of his big tanks.
They had lots of plasma, didn't they? Which is not particularly good versus us. Because we've got light infantry and heavy tanks, and plasma's kind of like in the middle. So it's usable against everything, but not optimum. We set long table edges against each other.
Yeah.
We decided the game plan of our army, as it's designed to do, is sit back and shoot and then move forward and take, and that's how the game went. We weren't wiping them out or anything, but we were well up. But we only got to turn 3. Turn 3 we got to.
Turn 3.
Yeah,
Was that both sides completed turn 3?
Yeah. Turn 3. It was 5-1 VP wise, and I think if it had gone on, we would have probably gained more, just because they had been a bit unlucky with their tank shooting. We had wiped out far more of their tanks than they had wiped out of ours.
Well, that's similar to our sort of thing. Well, at the end of turn 3, I think we were still only 3-0 up, but they were getting cards for secure on objectives, which there was no chance of them ever doing. So
it's
only discarding the 1.
I'm not really sure what took so long. We were chatting quite a lot with our opponents, so that obviously slows the game down.
You have to be really focused if you want to get through.
Yeah, I mean, I thought our game might go a bit slow because these guys it's their first tournament we were playing against as well. So obviously they talked a bit about what they wanted to do. So we took a little while getting going, didn't we? But
I'm very
once we got
conscious
going,
of time when I play now.
When he came in, he said an hour to go, and we were in the middle of our turn 2, I think. Yeah. At that point, I was throwing dice down. I don't think our opponents particularly liked playing at that speed. So I started really speeding up, just saying this, doing
Mike
this.
was doing an attack, and I was doing an attack over here. And they're like, oh, what's happening? Can't keep up.
Yeah. No, our guys were pretty good. I mean, we basically we helped him out a bit as well.
How long are the rounds? Sorry? How long are the rounds here?
2.5 hours with a 15-minute leeway.
Yeah, I mean, okay, obviously we know that you as in America, they play a lot quicker than us, but over here, a 2,000-point game, that's hard to do in 2.5 hours.
Even with 4 people moving.
Yeah.
Actually, 4 people probably slows it down.
Yeah, it doesn't, because you've got to discuss stuff instead of just going, move.
The problem is down here is they have a lot of kind of hidden added times, like we probably got started a little bit early. And the next game is into lunchtime, the next game is into things.
Yes, that's it. And I don't mind missing a bit of lunch to finish the game. As Paul was saying earlier, that it's just much nicer finishing a game, isn't it? And we've got a better score, I think. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we got all the way to turn
7.
Yeah, that's it, when you're playing against one flyer.
Well, we very nearly finished on turn 5. It's just, well, unfortunately couldn't finish their last unit off. So their flyer got to come on, basically.
Okay, but that's 2 wins for Team Clueless, so see us after next round. Okay, you join us at the end of round 2. Mark and Nick here have had a really long game against these 2 guys over here. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
So, how did your game go, guys? Can you go and stand next to Nick?
It was a very, very good game.
Yours lasted a lot longer than Paul's and I.
We played through lunch.
Everybody else in the room.
We played through lunch, we got to turn 5. We did lose the game by 1 point in the very end.
And was that 1 point first blood, did you say?
Yeah, they got first blood. So, I mean, we got first turn again, which I think is really important. But
that'll happen to Paul and I one day.
Yeah, but we weren't able to get first blood. We're not great at shooting from distance. We had a
quick look at the armies you're fighting against. So a nice purpley Eldar army over there. There we go. Look, it's turning around of its own accord. Tables have turned. Excellent, very nice. And a Dark Eldar ally. So mirror matching there, getting there. Really nice grotesques there. Yeah. So sorry, you were saying.
Yeah, so we had first turn, but we weren't really able to. We got into position, but we didn't do much damage first turn. Their first turn, they managed to kill. They killed 2 Meganobs. They blew up 2 wagons.
The 2 trucks went. The Meganobs are there. Yeah, they did a lot of damage to choosing basically.
Yeah, I mean, not much on objectives, but they did an awful lot of damage to us. But then turn 2 came along, and I only got 1 Scourge coming in on my flyer, and one of my Scourges scattered and mishapped and went back into reserve.
Oh dear, those reserves are a bit random, aren't they? It can be really hit or miss.
So we had that, but yeah, all in all, it came down to a really, really tight game. I think probably what won it for them, if I'm honest, would be this little man here, the Autark. With a re-rollable 2+ cover save.
Oh, he has the mantle.
Yeah, so we tried our best. We got him down to 1 wound, and he's also their warlord. I did manage to charge him with my Archon and my 5 squad after firing blasters and stuff like that. Got him down to 1 wound, but it's still enough. He then hit and ran out, which means he was unable to score 2 points off number 4 and was able to get line breaker. So he scored 3 points on his own, and his melter guns constantly harassing stuff like that. So he was really, really good. As you can see, they got the free fly, which I think really was telling, because although they could do the damage, we had a lot more presence on the board, which meant in some ways we were able to play the objectives a bit better.
Yeah, I think if we play against this army next, which we might well do, 3 flyers we might struggle with. We can deal with 1 flyer with our army, but 3 of them
we never really touched them. It was just because we got that.
Did you just ignore them and not worry?
Exactly. There's no point in us trying to. They got the first shot. They killed my flyer in the first round of combat. So
okay, but a point loss in the end.
Yes.
Okay, so Paul and I, we were playing on this table over here. You see we've arranged our army in a big mass of tanks for the battle. So Paul, do you want to go through how we did?
So we've had quite a lot of time to think about how we did. It went absurdly well. I mean, everything we tried to do worked excellently. Everything they tried to do worked abysmally. So they got to first turn, moved some of their guys forward, but they had a lot of guys in deep strike.
I'm just going to quickly go in here. Don't speak for a second. I'm just going to take a picture of their army. There we go. We were playing against that force
Eldar,
there. So Eldar, Dark Eldar, with a heavy Wraith contingent. They were deep striking in pinpoint with webways and Wraiths.
Wraiths accompanied by Archons. So turn 1, before all that stuff came in, we pretty much wiped all the stuff that they deployed off the table.
Yeah.
Pask took out the Wraith Knight in 1 shot.
First shot of the game, I think I got 11 rends with Pask.
Yeah.
He only fired 20 shots, only rend on a 6.
And that left my wave circle with nothing to fire, because we thought that we would probably need more than just Pask. And then second turn, their Wraith Knights came down. Failed to actually, Wraith Guard came down, failed to actually destroy.
Yeah, we'd done
tanks.
quite good positioning on our tanks, and we'd smoked up Pask and things, so made it not so good for them.
That didn't go so well for them. Then we turned around, mowed those guys down, and at that point they conceded. So
it was so one-sided. We just felt like, I think I fired 8 Wyvern shots and scattered once with one of them.
Yeah.
It was just absurd.
It was horrible to witness, really.
Yeah.
So we managed to get a major victory, 14 victory points to Plays 4.
The Death Strike killed something, didn't it?
It finally managed to do something.
We got to fire it. There was nothing on the board really to shoot at.
So it just hit a venom. It blew up a venom. So it's now destroyed 1 venom and done 1 whole point damage to a Razorback in the first 2 games.
Doing well.
That means you fired it turn 2, because
we fired it turn 2 twice, so that's quite handy.
Well, that also means that so far in this tournament, 2 rounds, you've played 5 turns.
Yeah, we have only played 5 turns.
2 out of 10 turns.
Yeah, we have played 5 turns. It is true.
Well, you played 12, right? You played 7.
Oh yeah, we played 7 times. Yeah, so we played 12 turns.
You're getting better money's worth than us. So,
although you were getting you get the victories.
That's it. So at the end of round 2, myself and Paul are up to 1 major victory and 1 normal victory, and Mark and Nick have 1 major victory and 1 loss. So if Paul and I do really well and get another major victory, I reckon we will probably be in the top 3. I think you'll need 3 majors to win. Although after the first round, there are only 3 people who had major victories.
Oh, okay. And 2 of them will have played each other.
And 2 of those, one of them was Mark and Nick were 2 of them versus their opponents, and neither of them. Yeah, so there might only be 1 team with a major victory. So we could still. I think we're maybe still in with a shout.
Well, we'll just keep trying to win as best we can.
That we can. And Nick and Mark need another major victory really to push themselves back up to the top tables. But we'll find out shortly. So you join us on the way home, as you can tell by the dark semi-lit road in front of us. We are back going down the A12 in the opposite direction. So, what happened on our round 3s, I hear people ask?
What happened on that round 3?
Thanks, Mark, and you wouldn't let me down.
Of course, I'm always here for you.
So, we can see a really shadowy, scary Mark in the back of the car. So, Mark and Nick, how did your last round go?
Yeah, not too bad. So we had first turn, and we generally we were playing your first round opponents.
Oh, were you? I didn't realise that was who you were playing.
Yeah, so they had a few Lima quite a few Lima Russes, about 4 Lima Russes, including Pask, 3 Razorbacks with mid-attack squad inside, a couple of powerful generators dotted around.
Yeah, yeah.
And a Raven Wing command squad. Our first turn went actually really quite well. I had some Haywire blasters in range shooting Lima Russ, part of Pask squad, and I took 2 hull points off. I shot 2 Venomed into his Razor Wing bikers, killed 2, he then failed the leadership test around off the wall.
Oh, unlucky.
Wow. Yeah, so that got.
Are they not fearless?
Not the Raven Wing.
They're in a circle, aren't they?
Yeah, they should have been fearless.
Raven Wing aren't in circle.
No, they were a command squad.
Librarian with them.
No, Librarian wasn't with them.
Oh,
okay.
You had a librarian. In the
Librarian is
Librarian he had separate now.
They were a command squad in ours.
No, but I don't think the Black Knights are in.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they are. I'll have to double check.
Oh well.
But so okay, 50-50 I don't know.
Would it happen anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't say these are fearless, so.
Yeah, I suppose so. So yeah, so that was our turn 1. Their turn 2. Pass squadron, because of the damage I'd done to the Punisher, was snap shooting, so I couldn't do a lot. So basically, they didn't really have a lot of useful shooting to shoot us. They did virtually no damage to us.
We had night fighting as well for our turn 1.
Yeah, we had
Always useful.
All our stuff was getting sort of 3+ cover saves, 4+ cover saves, and good stuff like that. So then it came to our turn 2. Most of my reserves came in. This means I put my Warlord right behind Pask. That killed Pask and finished that squadron off. And we pushed right forward with both battle wagons, both boys. We got all the boys out. We were doing charges by sort of turn 2, turn 3 into mechanised units. We just from turn
2 we took out all the Lima Russes. So
turn 2, all the Lima Russes were gone.
Through charging and just crumping and stuff.
yeah.
We killed on the power field generator. We were in combat with the librarian. You know,
Tech
it was just
Marine
going
had
really
gone.
badly from
Yeah,
turn 2.
their army wasn't a bad army, but they had a lot of points spent where they didn't need to spend points. Like Razorbacks are just really expensive single las cannons,
Yeah,
basically, and
the Dark Eldar, all it brought to party was a Raven command squad, a power field generator, and 2 powerful generators.
Yeah.
That's it. That's a lot of points to spend on.
yeah, very much so.
I think the only bad thing we really had from like turn 1 and 2 is all 3 of your Venoms were immobilised.
Yeah, because I roll 1 on terrain every time.
Oh, nice.
Oh no.
But at least one of the Venoms, obviously, because should actually say we was playing contact loss. So
Oh, yeah.
you had to control the objectives.
So
to
that's the
attack
mission
fast.
where you only draw a number of cards. It will become important in our game. You draw a number of cards, or up to a number of cards at the start of each of your turns, equals the number of objectives you control. So I find it a really interesting mission.
Yeah,
One of
yeah.
my favourites.
We had a massive advantage because we were a lot better at assault than because
Yeah.
they were just
And
mechanised
with
infantry.
the manoeuvrability we had, by
Yeah.
turn 2 we was controlling 4 objectives basically.
We even scored that we even on turn 3 we got the control every objective card. We actually scored it. We got all 6 objectives on turn 3.
That's pretty good.
That's
so,
a rout, that is.
So what was your score?
we scored 19 points to 1.
So and
Oh, they
No,
conceded actually.
they
so got
conceded,
0.
so they got 0.
oh, okay. So and that gave you 3rd place in the tournament, I believe.
Yeah, we came
So
third overall,
nicely
so
done. Team
we had to
Clueless
do
went
that.
home with some nice certificates and such.
Yeah.
Yeah, one on the dashboard right there.
Oh yeah, one on the dashboard. Let's have a.
This is
There
what
we
you
go.
could win.
Paul and I didn't get one. Oh, well, that's giving it away.
So
I'm-
spoilers.
I might cut that out.
Spoiler alert!
Yeah, you know if you're watching the video that I haven't cut this out. So Paul, how did you and I get on? There's a dark Paul in the back there.
So we were playing against 2 Space Marine armies, both which mostly were on bikes. So there was a few other things like a drop pod.
Yeah, I think one was White Scars, one was Iron Hands.
Yeah, one using Iron Hands tactics, and one using White Scars tactics. So when they set up, they were quite bunched over on one side, and we got the die roll to go first. So it's looking really quite good because we've got quite a lot of templates.
Yeah, we'd set up the objectives, hadn't we, on one side of the board,
Yeah,
hoping
to
that they'd
encourage them
take
to
that
bunch up.
side.
And they went for it.
Because we thought our only way of doing this was we would then scoot over to the opposite side, shoot them a lot, and then move back in, because they had 3 chapter masters and we couldn't fight them
Yeah.
at close range. It just
3
wasn't
chapter
possible.
masters, all with storm shields and all sorts of evil stuff.
Yeah.
But unfortunately they seized the initiative, so they don't manage to spread out by the time we've got our first shooting phase. And that gave us 1 fewer shooting phase before they got into assault,
Yeah.
which meant we were backpedaling throughout most of the game. We were managing to blow quite big chunks out of their army, and we weren't really taking any casualties in return. But unfortunately, because we were giving up ground, we kept losing out on the number of objectives we could control.
Yeah, I think by
So-
turn 3 we had none, did we?
Yeah, we were winning in terms of the number of models we were taking off, but we weren't scoring any objectives. And again, we ran out of time, only got 3 turns, so eventually they scored 9 points and we scored 2. one for line breaker and one for the one objective that we did manage to get at the start of the game that we scored.
I think on their turn 3 they did a big multi-assault, managed to kill Pask and such, gave them a load of points. I think they scored 5 or 6 points on their turn 3.
I think it's...
So they got D3, and then they got for the Warlord for killing Pask. It was a really good game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was certainly the most tactical of doing, because we were doing lots of reversing and stuff, but again, only getting to turn 3 where our army's kind of designed to shoot the enemy off the objectives, then move forward, take the objectives later in the game, so we just couldn't really get into what our army was designed for.
Us, which meant we finished 7th.
Yes, we tried to grab that one extra VP at the end in our turn 3, but we just couldn't quite get enough wounds onto their Warlord.
2 wins and a loss, so that's still pretty good going.
Yeah, that's it. And as I say, we came 7th, didn't we? So
not bad at all.
And overall, really good day was had. All good games, no problems with any opponents as usual.
No, I mean, you came 7th, but looking at the leaderboard thing, you were still only 3 points behind us.
Yeah, and I think
we had the same record in the car, didn't we? So
yeah, and I think the first game we would have probably won a significant victory if it had gone on another turn, because we were well ahead of that game. So that could have bumped us up a little bit, but yeah, and can't complain. You win 2 games. I mean, we were on the final table in the last game, so we lost that. I think the people we played against, because they didn't get many victory points towards tiebreakers in the game against us, they came 2nd in the end.
Whereas the people who won got quite a big smashing at the final.
We had a quick look at the table. It was table 2. It was the Bad Moon Orcs.
Yeah, it was Necrons and Orks versus the Flyers you lost to in turn 2, wasn't it? The Eldar, Dark Eldar.
Yeah, and it was the score in that game ended up being 17 points to 1.
Yeah, we were talking to the 2 guys who were playing the Eldar, and they said they just couldn't. And the Orks just came forward and absorbed them.
No, their list problem is they don't have a massive amount of board presence.
Yeah, that's it. The Flyers take it up and other stuff.
Yeah, they've got nothing that wants to get out and just sort of tangle with stuff like Braves, and that's a big problem in that Maelstrom mission.
So, general thoughts on the tournament. After having spoken at quite length to Andy and Phil, we were talking about the timing was an issue, because obviously Paul and I, what did we play today, Paul? We played
a 3-round game, and then a 2-round game, and then a 3-round game.
So 8 rounds total, which, let's face it, that's not enough when we're playing a longer game army.
Yeah.
You guys, you seem to finish a lot quicker. I think you were munching through the enemy quicker.
Yeah,
we had the first game was a 7-round game, but it really sped up towards the end. We kind of 4/5 for the second game, but that one we had to play through lunch, just to try and get up to that. Otherwise, we had the same problem you. We got to turn 3 and they said we're over in half an hour, and we're like, do we want to play through? We asked our opponents if they wanted to play through lunch. They were happy to, obviously, so we could just get a bit more of a
I think the assault lists help a lot with, because once you get to the assault, you can kill so many units in kind of one phase. It's whereas shooting, each unit can only kill 1, whereas like our opponents did the multi-assault on us and killed 3 units.
You have to play high mobility. Like, you couldn't run across the table with Ork boys or Tyrannid models.
Yeah, you've got to be getting there.
You've got to be getting there in a vehicle or with some kind of other enhancement to your mobility.
I think mobility is incredibly important, but I do think a little bit of combat power is needed as well.
Yeah, I do.
You've got to be able to. There's times you just need to assault objectives and stuff like that. And I think the timing-wise, the problem is a Maelstrom or the advantage, whatever it is, because you don't know what you're doing. It's incredibly difficult to plan your turn until you see your cards.
That's it, and then it changes, so you can make a plan, but if you draw a card that says, go over here, do this, you're going to have to do that to try and win, and thus you've got to rethink your plan. Yeah. But it's hard to do. I mean, if you're trying to get 3 rounds in the day, I think rounds today were 2.5 hours.
Yeah, which is quite,
which you'd think would be long enough, but it's a really friendly atmosphere, so you spend quite a lot of time chatting and joking. We weren't just arriving at table going, play, do, not speaking. We were all having a good laugh and such, which is one of the reasons we go. It's a really good atmosphere.
Well, yeah, I don't want to go and just...
Yeah, that's it. 40k is not a tight enough game to be able to play really focused, certainly not for me.
One thing I did overhear Andy sort of talking about, possibly to a couple other guys, is the second mission doing one of the older 6 missions, so it's rather than a Maelstrom one.
Yeah, that could save a bit of time.
That could save a bit of time, obviously, for people trying to finish.
Yeah, mixing the missions sounds like a good idea to me.
I just don't think a 2.5 hours doubles tournament is enough time.
Yeah, I think we were thinking, some people say that kind of like there's two of you moving the models, thus it makes it quicker, but it doesn't, because
You've got to talk and arrange.
yeah, you ask your friend who you're playing with after you try and do everything, because you don't want to step on their toes or whatever.
And again, it goes back to the point of you don't know what you're doing until you see your cards. So you draw your cards, which takes a little bit of time. Then you have your discussion about what you're going to do. Then you do what you're going to do, and it just builds up.
Yeah,
It's not like we're trying to save a little bit of time here. We need to
get another
twice
2
as long.
turns.
Yeah.
We need another hour. I think another hour, and we'd have got to 5 turns.
Yeah, because the game does get quicker towards the end of the game.
Yeah,
That's true,
yeah, most definitely.
I don't know, your first 2 games sound like you wouldn't even have got to turn 4 on either of them.
Not the second game. We've
second-
tabled them in another
Yeah,
round.
there's a second game where the opponents we played were really unfortunate, and we would just remove anything we even glanced at. Look at out of the corner of our eye, died.
Even things that are supposed to be really hardy, like race night.
Yeah. But overall, a really good day was had. Anyone else got any
really
points they want to make?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
We met some fans. That was cool.
Yeah, we met. Yeah,
What were their names? I feel really bad because I forgot their names, but they were really nice to chat to. They seemed really nice guys. They were the guys you played second
You
round.
gave them a little interview after round 2, so.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
a little interview where I kind of like glanced the camera at them.
Oh, it's like-
He was
I thought
extremely
you were
happy with that though. He did say, I've played some people from Team Clueless and now I'm going to feature in one of their videos.
That's it.
He was hoping to play you guys in the third game, so he was actually going to be quite two lots of Team Clueless players.
That's it. They were good players as well.
Yeah.
Their army was well nicely painted.
Yeah, I thought that might be the best painted army.
We must apologise though that we're really bad at names and can't remember your names. Please just put a comment.
It's the intensity of that game. Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
a massive game. Really enjoyable.
Looked really
game
good,
by
yeah.
far.
Yeah,
Enjoyed
we
it.
would have much preferred playing them than the 2 bikes. So the bike players are really nice, but we didn't want to play bikes. Okay, everybody. Well, we shall see you at the next battle report. Thanks for watching.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.